Hello, welcome to Powers Yoga. My name is Andrea Powers, and today's video is our Powers Yin with No Props series for the lower body. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Today we're going to start in our hero pose or child's pose. You have a choice of either one. Child's pose, you can start with your big toes together and your knees slightly apart, and you can walk the hands to the top of the mat. Or you can stay in your hero pose here today, stretching out the front of the thighs, stretching out the shins, the ankles, and the tops of the feet. And if you're in your hero pose, then I invite you to place your hands onto your thighs, or if you're in child's pose, if that's a better position for yourself, make sure you're walking your hands all the way to the top of the mat, letting your forehead come down. Whichever route you choose, we're going to take a few moments here just to connect with our breath and also to scan the body to see if there's any stress or tension we may be holding, and to make sure the breath is moving fluidly from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Let's go ahead and let's begin our pranayama practice, softly closing our eyes and bringing our attention and awareness inwards. I want you to just become aware of your breath. Just feel how the breath moves naturally in and out of the body. Don't try to control it, manipulate it, force it. Just become aware of it. And as you become aware of the breath, I want you to make a soft whisper to the breath. Soft sound so the mind can hear the breath. Anytime the mind hears the breath, we make that instant mind and body connection. So take 3 more breaths here, letting the mind hear the breath like a soft whisper. Maybe even taking another moment to set an intention for your practice today. And then we'll go ahead and we'll begin our practice. Why don't we all meet in our child's pose? If we're in our hero pose, we'll walk the hands out to the top of the mat. Bringing the forehead down. Walking the arms out. Any direction that feels best to us, as high as we can to the top of the mat. And then let your heart melt to the thighs, bringing the forehead down to the mat. Taking a bow. From here, we're going to go ahead, we're going to walk the hands up towards our glutes. We're going to shift the weight over to the left hand side and we'll come into our deer pose. So let's bring the hips over to the left. Let's take the left leg out front and the right leg behind. Try to maybe bring that left leg parallel with our mat. Right leg will open up any degree we feel comfortable. Sitting tall, but then we're going to go ahead and exhale. Just bring our hands back and just take a moment here. Kick back, relax, and let go. Maybe even drop into that right hip. Find a position where you can hold comfortably. Anywhere for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once you've found that space where you can hold, where you feel comfortable, where you can just relax and let go. I want you to go ahead and just begin to focus on the breath. Taking one last deep inhale. And on our exhale, we'll slowly flutter, open up our eyes. If we're in child's pose, we'll go ahead and we'll walk the hands back, and let's all come over onto our glutes. We'll shift our weight to the left-hand side. Let's bring the legs around and let's come into a seated butterfly pose or seated Baddha Konasana. We're going to go ahead and we're going to draw those heels in towards our pelvis, wherever we feel the most comfortable as we open up the hips. You can either grab onto the outer parts of the feet or maybe onto the ankles, whichever feels comfortable to you. Wherever you are, I want you to find a comfortable position for yourself where we can hold anywhere for about 3 minutes or so. Take a nice deep inhale to lengthen the spine, and on your exhale, I want you to just gently round this spine and just fold over into a nice, comfortable, natural position. I don't want you to force lengthening the spine. I just want you to just naturally round the spine, maybe even drop the head down. And I want you to just inhale into the parts you feel tight, and then exhale, tell the body part just to relax and let go. Maybe let gravity do the work for us today. And then I want you to bring all your attention and awareness to the mind's eye, the point in between the brows. I want you to see yourself in this pose. With each exhale, I want you to tell the body part you see yourself stressing or feeling the most tension. Tell that body part to relax and let go. I want you to telepathically speak to the body from the mind's eye. Maybe even just repeating the word relax. Once you've found your place, your edge, where you feel the most comfortable, I want you to go ahead then find stillness. Maybe you found space, so you want to go a little deeper. Bring the forearms out to the outside of the shins, and then again let the head relax. And on your next exhale, let's slowly come out, taking our time, coming maybe on the fingertips, one vertebrae at a time, slowly gazing forward. And let's come into our deer pose. So from our butterfly pose, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our left shin parallel with the top of the mat, and we'll bring the right leg back. From here, we want to go ahead, sit tall but not rigid. Okay, right foot can stay onto the side of the foot. And then you're going to just walk the hands back to a place where you feel comfortable, where you can hold for at least 3 minutes to open up the body. Once you've found your edge, the place where you feel the most comfortable, I want you to scan the body to see if you're holding any stress or any tension or any adjustments you need to make for your body. And then I want you to bring it to stillness. Then bring the attention, awareness to the mind's eye. See yourself relaxing. With each exhale, tell the body part you feel the most stressed or tense to relax, to let go. Or maybe the body opened up. You want to get a little deeper sensation. And wherever you are, we're going to hold for 5 more deep breaths. And taking one last deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to slowly maneuver out. Next pose we're going to come into is our pigeon pose. So we're going to make a small adjustment, any angle with the front leg. I might need to adjust myself here slightly. And front leg, and just as that right leg is going to extend back out in front of us, let's come first into a back bend pigeon. So make sure that the hips and shoulders are facing forward. Hands could come to the front part of the mat, framing that front leg. And beautiful. You can go ahead and check the back leg by curling the toe under, making sure that right hip or the hips are facing forward, and then we can release that right leg down. Okay, press through the palms evenly, or maybe if you need a little more height, a little more space, go ahead and bring all 10 fingertips up. Press through all 10 fingertips, or a nice option too, sometimes I tend to like, is fist to wrist. I feel like I can really get a better placement for my body and less stress off the shoulders and the neck that way. Oh yes, much better. And then holding here, wherever you are, for another breath or two. Maybe gaze up for the last inhale. And on the exhale, let's go ahead and let's come into a sleeping pigeon, or a resting pigeon first. Let's take a resting pigeon. Let's come onto the hands, and we have an option here. We can either bring one hand on top of the other and bring the forehead down if we like. Or we can just go ahead and bring one hand on top of the other. And let's take a moment here, find stillness. And scan the body. Make any small adjustments you feel your body may need. And after a few breaths, once the body opens up, maybe it does, and we want to take that invitation to go a little deeper, we can. But for now, let's take a moment in our resting pigeon. Take a moment for rest. And then exhale, try to relax and try to let go. And let go of the stress, the tension. And maybe for the next few breaths, we found some space, so we want to go a little deeper. Coming into a sleeping pigeon now, bringing our forehead down to the mat, extending the arms out, or just staying in a resting pigeon, wherever we feel the most comfortable with our edge, where we can breathe, where we can find stillness for the next 5 to 10 breaths.
And let's go ahead. Let's take one last deep inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to slowly walk those hands back. Take as much time as you may need. And let's come and take that back bend one last time. Lift our hearts to lengthen. And then exhale. We're going to roll over to our left hand side. And we're going to take that right leg. And we're going to bring that right leg right around over to the left leg. And we're going to come into a seated twist to open up that right hip a little bit more. And we're going to take the left arm to hug that left knee into the chest as we inhale, lengthen the spine. And as we exhale today, we're just going to stay here. Maybe just gently round the spine, just sink into the pose. Again, staying where we feel comfortable, where we can hold for at least a few breaths, opening up that right hip. And then I'll give you an opportunity either to stay here continuously opening up that hip, or maybe the opportunity to go a little deeper. If the body allows us to find that edge and that pose, formation of the pose. Now remember, scan the body, close the eyes. Wherever you feel the most stress, the most tension, maybe it's in that right hip. Speak to the hip. Maybe just keep repeating the word relax. Maybe that right hip opened up and it gave you an invitation to go deeper, or just stay and relax. And if you like to go a little deeper, release the right leg, and we'll take that right leg and we'll cross it over the left leg, almost as if our legs look like we're going to shoelace them tight. As we inhale, lengthen, we can either hold here, just relaxing, or maybe getting even a little deeper sensation by just folding over and bringing the forehead to the knee maybe. And we're going to hold here for the next few breaths. In any position we feel the most comfortable, relax your shoulders, relax your forearms, relax the head. Again, scan the body. See where you're holding the stress and the tension. Tell that body part just to relax. Maybe with each exhale, tell the hip to relax. And wherever you are, we're going to continue to hold for 5 more deep breaths. Letting your whole upper body sink onto the lower body. Taking one last deep inhale. And on the exhale, slowly walk the hands back. Lift the forehead up off the knees. Lift the chest up off the thighs. And then we'll slowly come out of our pose. Take as much time as you need. Unlace the legs. And I'm going to come into this direction, maneuvering onto all fours. Okay. And then going ahead, coming into our deer pose, taking the right leg out front and the left leg behind. Making sure that right leg is parallel with the top of our mat. Left leg comes behind, and then we'll walk the arms out any degree to wherever we feel comfortable. Noticing any imbalances on the body. If one side we were a little bit more open than on the other side. Wherever you are, I want you to exhale, sink into the hip. Then bring the attention awareness to the mind's eye. Scan the body. See where it is that you're holding any stress or tension, and tell that body part just to relax now and let go. Keeping your attention awareness on the breath for 10 more rounds. The mind begins to wander. Bring it back to the breath. Let your breath guide your practice. Take one last deep inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to slowly come out of our deer pose. And let's make our way into pigeon. So we may need to adjust the angle of that front leg, but we're going to extend that left leg behind us. We're going to first begin with, let's check our alignment, making sure that the hips are facing forward. You can curl the toe under to make sure we're not leaning to the right or left. And then from there, if you want, you can release the toe. We're going to take a gentle back bend to begin to open up the chest, open up that hip flexor. And we can either hold with our palms flat. We can come onto all 10 fingertips. Tend to like fist to wrist, but wherever you are, I want you to press through the palms, lift the heart. And exhale, relax the shoulders. And maybe the next inhale, see if you can lift the heart a little bit more. And relax the shoulders. Find stillness now. You might even slowly feel the body opening up, letting gravity open the body naturally. And now let's take a rest in our resting pigeon. We're going to exhale, let the heart melt onto the thigh. If our forehead can't come to the mat quite yet, we can bring one hand on top of the other. And then that way, making fists, your forehead can come to your wrists. or to your fists. If this is our edge, stay here. Maybe we can bring one hand on top of the other and relax the shoulders, wiggle the body around, bring the forehead down on top of the palms now, coming into a full expression of our resting pigeon, or any expression of our resting pigeon. And maybe for the next 5 to 10 breaths, your body gave you an invitation to go deeper, or maybe you just want to stay here and keep relaxing. And maybe you want to now come into a sleeping pigeon. You can bring your forehead down to the mat, the arms come out, extending, forearms come down to the mat. And as you exhale, again, scan the body. Find anywhere you're holding stress or tension and tell that body to relax and let go in the mind's eye for the next few breaths. And let's take one last deep inhale. And on our exhale, we'll slowly begin to come out of the pose. Maybe slide the hands back so you can press through the palms evenly to lift the forehead up off your mat. And beautiful. Let's come into that seated twist, or otherwise known like a runner's lunge. I'm going to take that left leg now, cross it over the right, bringing that left foot flat and hugging that right knee into the chest. We're going to hold here for a few breaths, opening up that left outer hip, and then I'll give you a few options to go a little deeper. Make any adjustments. And then on the exhale, just relax into the pose. I want you to sink into the pose. Let the spine curl naturally. Relax the hips, relax your shoulders. And maybe you want to go deeper. Feeling a deeper sensation in that outer hip by going ahead and releasing that left knee. Gently taking the left leg and gently pulling it out, or otherwise I like to lift up, shimmy the body around. Trying to stack one knee on top of the other. And as you exhale now, go ahead, find a comfortable position for yourself. Maybe you can bring the forehead to the knees. And we're going to hold here now for the next 10 breaths or so. And if you're going through difficult times, I want you to try to breathe through those times, just like in life. Don't hold the breath and cause any more stress or tension, but find that edge where you can breathe, where you can relax and find stillness. Taking 5 more deep breaths. And beautiful. On your next exhale, we're going to slowly come out of the pose. I walk in the hands up. And let's go ahead and now let's unlace our legs. We're going to bring our hands back and let's stretch out the legs out in front of us. Let's take a seated forward fold, stretching out the back of the legs. And take a nice deep inhale. Let your legs, your toes relax, find length through the spine, and then let the heart melt to the thighs. Walk the hands out any degree and just let the body fold over naturally. If we need to make any adjustments by bending the knees to take some stress or tension off the back of the legs, let's do so. Maybe we need a little more support by bringing our backs against the wall. Wherever you are, I want you to find your edge. Find a place where you can find stillness, where you can relax, and let the body slowly open up. Gravity pull us down. We're not going to force it. We're not going to pull it today. In this moment, we're going to let go. And maybe the body did open up. And it gave us an invitation to go deeper, and maybe we want to stay here today. Maybe today we decide to take that invitation. Maybe walking the arms a little further out. And then again, holding for another 5 to 10 breaths. Scan the body, make sure you're not holding any stress or tension in the knees, in the shoulders, in the breath. And beautiful. Taking one last exhale. Walk the hands up. On your exhale, taking our slowly out of the pose, taking as much time as you need. I want you to go ahead and open up that right leg to the corner of your mat. Roll over to the right hand side. So you just kick that left leg back behind you. You're going to come so you're on top of that left foot and holding here just to stretch out the front of the thigh. If you like, you can go ahead and walk the hands out to any degree. Relaxing that right leg down. Maybe you feel comfortable here. We want to stay here today. Or maybe we can come onto the forearms if that feels more comfortable to us. Kicking back here. Or maybe feels even more comfortable for us to lay all the way back. Wherever we are, I want you to try to listen to the body. Only go where you feel comfortable today. Maybe even adding the shoulders in by bringing the arms overhead and grabbing for maybe the same elbow that's leg is bent. And again, with each exhale, I want you to relax and let go. Find that edge, find that place where you feel sensation, but no pain, no stress. And if we sense a small amount, that's okay. Just tell the body to relax, to let go. Wherever you are, we're going to continue to hold for 5 more deep breaths. And beautiful. Let's go ahead to slowly come up. We're going to, if you're lying all the way back, I like to take my left hand onto my left wrist or shin or ankle. Slowly lift up onto the forearms, then onto the palms, and then roll to the right to release the left leg out, and we'll switch sides. So we'll take that left leg out now, straight out in front of us. We'll take the right leg back behind. Notice any imbalances. Maybe if we're going to be open a little bit more, even tighter a little bit more on one side than the other. Wherever you go, your edge may be here, so we may want to hold for the full duration of the 3 minutes here. I tend to like to turn my palms out to the side. I feel like that gives a wider base for my shoulders, so I don't feel like I need to sink into the shoulders. If you want, you can bring your arms out even wider if you need that space. Maybe we're not getting a deep enough sensation for our bodies today. Remember, every day is different. So maybe today we want a deeper sensation. We come onto the forearms. Maybe we found our edge here. Wherever we are, high on the forearms, on the palms, I want you to bring your attention awareness to the breath. Scan the body. See if there's any stress you're holding. Maybe it's in the front of that thigh. Maybe it's in that knee. I want you to tell that body part to relax and let go. Or maybe it's telling us that we need to back off, come back onto the palms. Or maybe it gave us that invitation to go deeper. And we decided today to finally take that invitation. We're going to slide now down onto the shoulders, making sure that right knee stays down onto the mat. And if we'd like, we can go ahead now and reach those arms overhead, taking that left hand now and grabbing onto the right elbow. Again, telling the body, making any small adjustments. As we come and hold now for the next 5 to 10 breaths. Let's take one last deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to slowly come up, coming onto the forearms. And then coming onto the palms next. And then let's go ahead, let's stretch those legs out in front of us. And let's take one last forward fold, just a gentle forward fold. Be mindful as we had the spine in the opposite direction, so not a big forward fold, but just surrender, stretching out any stress or any tension we may have caused in the sacrum or the lower back. And beautiful. Let's exhale. Let's slowly and strongly lower ourselves down. Maybe one vertebrae at a time. Let's take that right knee into our chest. Let's extend that left leg out in front here, holding here. You can either grab onto the shin or the back of the thigh. If the shin's not accessible to us, we can always grab for the back of the thigh. We can even grab for the wrist for a little bit of a deeper leverage. Wherever you are, you want to relax the shoulders. You can even interlace the fingers. That way we're not using the arms, but not the biceps or triceps, but relaxing and letting go. Go ahead and switch sides now. Extend the right leg out. And let's bring that left leg in now. Bringing the knee into the chest. Extend. Again, you can grab for that left leg with the thigh or at the shin, whichever most comfortable to you. Relax the elbows down. Relax the shoulders. Even interlace the fingers or grab for the wrists, so you can relax a little bit more into the pose. And let's take one last deep inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to release out and take a corpse pose. As we take a moment here, bring your feet to the corner of the mat and turn the palms up. And let's take a moment of stillness here. I want you to wiggle the body around and find the most comfortable position for yourself. Try not to be stiff. Turn the palms up so you're open to receive any good energy, any good thoughts, any new ideas coming your way. And bring all your attention and awareness to the mind's eye as you relax the mind's eye. Relax your eyebrows and your eyes. Relax your nose and your cheeks. Don't do anything but be still and just tell your body to relax. Tell your upper and lower lip to relax. Cheeks to relax, the jaw. Even let your lower jaw move away from your upper jaw as if you were asleep. Relax your tongue away from the back of the throat. Relax the muscles of the throat. Relax your shoulders. Relax your biceps and your triceps. And move past the elbows to relax the forearms. And move past your wrists to relax your hands and your fingers. Even take a moment here to relax all 10 fingers. Telling the pinky to relax. The ring. The middle, the index and the thumb to relax. Now move your attention and awareness back upwards. Tell your heart to relax. Tell your belly to relax. Not just the muscles, but all the organs inside. Tell your lower back to relax, and your hips. Maybe even imagine your hips just melting down into the mat, slowly opening up, releasing any stress or tension. Then move your attention, awareness down through the legs as you relax the thighs. Relax the front of your thighs. Tell your quads to relax, the back of the thighs, your hamstrings. Tell your glutes to relax. And move your attention, awareness downwards past the knees. Tell your calves and shins to relax, noticing any sensations you may be feeling. Move past the ankles now to relax your feet. Relax the heel, the arch, and the ball of the foot. Relax all 10 toes, pinky toe to big toe. And now your whole body is relaxed, whole, and as one. Take this moment of stillness for the next 5 breaths. Let's take one last deep inhale. And on our exhale, we'll begin to wiggle our toes, our hands. And we take a nice deep breath. Let her open up her eyes. We're taking our feet flat onto the mat as we make our way into a seated position. The top of the mat, and we draw on the knees slowly into the chest as we roll to the right or left hand side of the body. Take a moment here in your baby pose. Take a moment just as if you're waking up for the first time in the morning, so we're not rushing our practice. And then when we're ready, and only when we're ready, we'll press through the palm of the upper arm, finding ourselves in a easy cross-legged position. We can do that with ourselves up against the wall or right at the center of our mat. We're going to end our class with a chant of Om 1 time. Take a nice deep inhale and reach our fingertips up towards the sky and lower our hands at the heart center. Taking a nice deep inhale in. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May love surround you. And may the light from within you guide your way on. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.